with you this night of your time. Remember it as you fall asleep tonight in the cozy warmth of your beds. Let it wrap you in the blanket of its arms and walk into the dream world with Orinoco. You will find great wonder and mystery therein, and great beauty within yourself. So in return for the gift you have given us in allowing us to share this with you, I ask you now, in what way may we be of service to you? Please begin with your dialogues, your questions, if you wish.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you again for having a conversation with me.
It is our passion and our pleasure.
Synchronicity, friend. I just want to share with all of you and with your friends. I am from Venezuela.
Yes.
And I went to the rainforest many years ago through the Orinoco River. And I've been studying shamanistic journeys for the last 2 weeks.
How synchronous of you.
Very exciting. 2 weeks ago, I had my first guided shamanistic journey.
All right.
I was set with the rain and had conversations with the rain.
Yes.
And I took notes from them.
Conversations with the Rain. Good title for your book.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
How did you know I wanted to write a book?
Oh, I don't know. Just a lucky guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
It stands out in your energy to us through symbology.
Okay. This is awesome.
Yes.
I just want to share that from the things that I wrote from the conversations, the rain said to me, remember when you journeyed through the river, through the Orinoco River, into the rainforest.
Yes.
And after that, I saw the jaguar face looking at me.
Yes.
And I say hi, and he said hi. And I said to myself, I think he's a nature spirit from the rainforest in my country. And then, I don't know, I just leave it like that.
Yes.
So this was just like an incredible gift to me.
Yes.
So I just want to share that.
Well, thank you for sharing.
So also, Bashar, thank you so much for quoting The Matrix yesterday.
Yes.
There is no spoon.
Yes.
My favorite movie, my favorite line, said by my favorite extraterrestrial friend.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I'm very spoiled this weekend.
Not fresh, but spoiled.
Okay. Very freshly spoiled.
Oh, all right. Freshly spoiled.
Freshly spoiled.
Thank you for the oxymoron.
I have 3 quick questions. One is, yesterday you talked a lot about beliefs.
Yes.
My only question is, are beliefs self-aware?
No,
Or, okay.
Not in the way that you're talking.
Then how do they...
It's the way they're designed.
Okay.
They're designed to perpetuate themselves. If they weren't designed that way, you couldn't have a physical reality experience. They have to be designed in a way that reinforces the idea that physical reality is real, that what you're experiencing is a fact, because physical reality is just a projection of consciousness. So if the belief system didn't reinforce itself that way, if it wasn't designed to do that, you couldn't have a physical reality experience as solidly as you do. You would see right through it as an illusion.
Okay. Do you or the hybrids or other, like the Yael, do they have belief systems that...
In a sense, but the idea again is that, remember, we have divested ourselves of the choice of negative belief experiences and only choose the positive ones, which also reinforce reality.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, is it similar to like the intelligence of the cells of the body? Like they're...
It's closer to that idea, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to understand how they can use fear to not, prevent themselves from being...
Well, those are the tools that are designed within them.
Okay.
But not the positive ones, just the negative ones.
Oh. So the positive ones, they don't need...
They don't need the idea of the fear. They will get your attention more often than not through simple synchronicity.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Now, you can use fear in a positive way, of course. But it is, by definition, a negative mechanism. But you can use it in a positive way, and that's the whole point. You use it to find out what the negative beliefs are you're holding on to that are generating the fear. That's a positive thing to do with a negative mechanism.
Okay. And my second question was about, I recently got your transmission of the 9 levels of consciousness.
Yes.
Trying to understand the structure of reality is one of my favorite things to do.
Oh, all right. Me too.
How synchronistic. It's very exciting. And
Yes.
I had my notes from it. So when you explain how the oversoul splits into souls or spirits and then
Yes.
down, I was wondering, in this scheme you have higher mind, template level reality, collective consciousness, individual themes, and then the physical construct. Like I have unconscious mind, subconscious mind, and conscious mind.
Yes, but the subconscious and unconscious minds are actually higher than the conscious mind, even though you think of them as lower.
Yeah, no, I got that from
All
your
right.
explanation. I was just, where does the dream world dimension that you were talking last night, the lower astral realm, fits within the scheme?
More around the idea of where the higher mind is.
Okay. And is the higher mind part of physical reality?
No.
Is it non-physical?
You have a non-physical higher mind. That is the portion of you that remains in spirit, while the portion of you that believes it's in physical reality is experienced through the physical mind. But most of you is still non-physical.
Yeah. So I loved when you said that the projection is like you're projecting something into a wall, but the projection is like a 3D experience, and
Yes.
that is life.
Yes.
So it's like, and also the reflective mirror is the higher mind.
The reflective mirror is one of the tools of passion that reveals to you anything within your physical mind that is a belief system that might be out of alignment with the vibration of the higher mind.
Okay.
And your third question?
My third question was like, why do I wake up every night at 3 a.m.?
Well, that's a long story.
Okay.
It has to do with extraterrestrial contact and interdimensional contact. Generally speaking, though it's not always so, between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., let's just put it in the old-fashioned terminology, the veil between the dimensions is very thin at that time, and it's easy for beings to cross from one reality to another.
Okay. Perfect.
All right?
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is very exciting. I've been waiting years to talk to you and ask you questions.
You have?
Yeah, a long time. So I was wondering if you can shed some light on the idea of visual migraines.
We do not discuss health issues.
Okay.
However,
Yes.
clearly, it is the idea, on some level, of resistance to the natural self, since all pain is the result of resistance to the flow of larger energies, higher frequency energies. So is there resistance within you to be your true self?
Well, there must be. So I'm thinking,
Well, you don't have to just cave so quickly.
but I think I know what it is.
And what is it then?
I might be spreading myself too thin.
Meaning that you feel like there's not enough time to do everything you need to do?
Yeah, well, I have multiple businesses
Yes.
to be able to support myself as well as do what I really want to do. What I'm
I
really
beg your
passionate
pardon?
about.
Do what you what? Want to do?
What I need to do.
When you do what you need to do, the amount of things you do will probably reduce to a manageable amount, instead of the things you want to do, that you think you need to do, that you may not need to do as much of, or at least not in the way you're doing them.
Right.
It's about streamlining, simplifying yourself, and trusting the timing and the order in which you need to do things. You do understand, we say that synchronicity is the organizing principle of your life?
Mm-hmm.
So when something is presented to you that contains the idea of passion, more excitement than anything else, That is synchronicity saying, this is the thing to do now. And when that passion wanes, the next thing that has more excitement than any other option, no matter what it is the thing to do next. If you keep doing that in that order, as synchronicity brings you circumstances, situations, opportunities that contain more excitement than any other choice, and you just keep following that, whatever you don't have time to do at the end of the day doesn't need to be done. It is literally organizing your life in the timing of when you need to do things and when you don't. So if you are willing to actually follow the way the instruction manual works, the way that the structure of existence actually works, everything will start to fit in perfect timing. You will see exactly what you do and don't need to do. And you'll start also doing things perhaps in a way that is more in alignment with your excitement, rather than doing them in a way that you've been taught to think you have to do them, that may have nothing at all to do with the way you would best do them.
So say, for example, I have this first business. I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I do it because it provided me really healthy finances.
Again, the idea is, in some sense, what you just said is that my excitement can't support me as well.
Not right now. I didn't believe.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a belief. Now, again, we always say you have to honor your belief system. If you don't believe that your excitement, your passion can support you as well or even better, then by all means hold on to what you believe you need for support in your reality. But I am telling you that if you at least take the time to act on your passion as often as you can then give it an opportunity to prove to you it can support you. But what has to go along with that is a relaxation of what you are defining as support. Because you may be limiting yourself in the way you think support is supposed to look. And by doing that, you may actually be preventing other forms of support that exist from coming in to support you, when it is actually more appropriate for those other forms to come in. By insisting that there's only one way you can be supported in physical reality, through one particular symbol, such as finances, you are actually closing the doors through which other forms of support and abundance could be coming to you that might actually be a path of lesser resistance for you. But if you insist it has to look a certain way, then there's that resistance. There's that stranglehold on the energy conduits in your body. And boy, does that cause headaches.
Yeah, it does. So how would I go about by letting go of that definition that finances?
Follow the definition of abundance that we suggest to you if you wish. Our definition of abundance is, are you paying attention?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Of course.
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, period. One more time. The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, period. We understand that on your planet, money is one symbol of abundance, but it's not the only one. Being given a gift is a symbol of abundance. Having something to trade is a symbol of abundance. Synchronicity is a form of abundance, bringing you what you need exactly when you need it. Imagination is a form of abundance because it opens in your mind other ideas, other pathways, other avenues you may not have considered, and on which you may not necessarily need to do the things you thought you needed to do, because this is a new way of doing something that may not require the way you used to do things. So there are many forms of abundance. When you relax your definition about how abundance is supposed to come to you in whatever form, then you allow all the forms to work together. Maybe sometimes in certain circumstances, maybe you need a little bit of money. But if that's all that comes, that should be your first clue that the entire support system may not actually be best in the form of money. So if you say, all right, well, that part came, you're open to the rest of it. Now maybe a little bit of synchronicity comes in. Now maybe someone comes along and gives you something for free. Now maybe you suddenly realize you have something you can trade with someone else. And your imagination opens up. And suddenly you realize it's about letting whatever proportion or percentage of each of those things come into work together to form the 100% support that you need in that particular situation. But you have to let them come in order to find out what proportion of each of them is actually required. So without that relaxation of the definitions, you're actually shutting the doors through which other forms can come by saying, this is the only form that will work, this is the only form that I recognize. Nothing else can possibly allow me to feel as supported or as abundant. That's the belief system, but that's just what the negative belief wants you to believe, so you won't let it go. That's how it perpetuates itself. But if you at least take some action on the things that are truly representative of your passion often enough, if you at least give yourself that opportunity, that chance, as often as you can, your passion will show you through synchronicity that it can actually support you. Maybe even better than you're being supported now, as hard as that might be for some of you to believe. It can do that. Are you following?
Yeah, I love that idea. I've actually started it way back in like 2011, 2012.
And what stopped you?
Well, it goes in hand with my next question, which is I've followed the formula as best as I can.
I guess not.
Well, I do my best.
I understand.
But
you can do better. I know you can.
But the challenge I find is that it's really difficult sometimes to stay in a positive state.
Do you understand that that's a belief and not a fact?
Yes, I do.
See, this is how you start breaking it down. When you hear those things come out of your mouth, when those thoughts move through your head, stop yourself and say, wait a minute. What I just said is not a fact. It's just a belief. It's just a perspective. It's just an opinion. And those things can be changed. Another definition that would work with more alignment for you is the idea that there is no such thing as an inherently difficult situation. No such thing. Only the belief makes it feel or seem or appear difficult. Then you have something to work with. But when those things come out of your mouth, when those thoughts go through your head, you have to stop and pay attention and realize that you're programming yourself with a story that doesn't work for you right there. And in that moment, it's not about moving on. It's about staying with that realization, working with it, discovering that belief, and going into that belief to the degree, to the point where you get it to make no sense. That's what you haven't done. You're not getting it to the point where the belief makes no sense. Once it makes no sense, you drop it. You never hold on to anything that you truly see makes no sense. If you're holding on to it, as nonsensical as it may seem, that means you have a belief that is somehow making it appear to make sense to hold on to something that doesn't work for you. You have to find that belief. And when you really see it in the light of your consciousness, in the light of day, you will see that it's just a construct of co-linked things that probably don't need to be linked. And by analyzing it to some degree and seeing that it makes no sense, then you de-link those experiences and can move forward. Because now it no longer makes sense to do anything other than that.
So
is this making sense?
Yeah, so to get out of that business, you're suggesting that I break down the belief and I use synchronicity.
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 Or synchronicity, if you prefer that definition.
Yeah.
And what we're suggesting is that you act on your passion as best as you can, continue to do that idea, but yes, you have to find out what the beliefs are that are holding you back from believing that your passion can support you.
Sure, I can do that.
All right.
But what happens if you're in an environment, let's say I have a big family, and they are totally, how do I say it? They reinforce all those negative beliefs, and it gets really... No, they don't. You do. You do because you think you have to agree with them. But if I don't...
So what?
So should I just...
Whose life is it? Whose life
it's mine,
is it?
For sure.
Thank you. But...
It gets really negative and nasty.
So what? What has that got to do with you?
family reunions.
Do you understand that when it gets negative and nasty, what you're seeing are their issues of fear?
Totally.
Then why should it affect you? If you understand it has nothing to do with you and has everything to do with them, can't you put yourself in a state of compassion for them and see that they are struggling with their own issues that they are afraid to face?
Yes, of course.
Well, then if you can do that, there's no effect on you.
But they come after me still.
So what? Are they locking you in a room and preventing you from leaving?
No.
Then leave if they are not vibrationally compatible with you.
Well, that's what I was planning not to go for Christmas.
Then don't.
And would that do some serious damage?
To whom?
My relationship with my family.
Who knows? But you understand this truth. If you are not yourself, they're not in a relationship with you, and you're not in a relationship with them anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's been like that for a while.
Well, then the only thing you can do, no matter how much they may protest, because they have their own ideas of what you should be and who you should be and what that should look like, the most loving thing you can do is actually show them who you really are, whether they like it or not. But again, if you find that they are vibrationally incompatible with what you prefer in your life, then find a different family to celebrate with.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, then there you go. Problem solved.
Okay, and one last question. Do we need 7 hours of sleep to remain healthy?
Not necessarily. Depends on your true biological rhythm.
Any idea on how to set that rhythm or reset it?
Yeah, start to relax a little bit. Don't be so tense. Slow down to speed up. And then you will find your natural rhythm. You will be tired when you need to be tired. When you're excited about being tired, you will rest. When you are excited about being active, you will awake and do things. And it may be very different times of the day that this happens. You don't have to go by what society says is the time you should be asleep and the time you should be awake. Start to become more naturally you, rather than becoming so normal.
Okay. Thank you
And
very much.
you will find your own rhythm. Yes?
Yes.
Then happy, holy days to you.
Thank you, Bashar.